Hello everyone, welcome back to the NBM show in Long Beach. We are Rhinestone World's booth, and we're going to be doing a heat press on HTV, and I'm going to introduce you to Matt Vasallo. Feel free to ask questions throughout this process. I'll ask the questions on your behalf. So,
hey everybody, how you doing today? Thank you for coming here at the NBM Long Beach show. Been a great show here, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the process of heat pressing a two-color glitter design. So I'm going to show you some different tips and tricks that we use when we're lining up the shirt, because that's a big part of your return on investment is the time it takes to actually press the shirt. If it takes you 30 seconds or if it takes you 5 minutes, it's going to make a big difference in your actual profits. So I just want to run through here just for a few minutes and show you a couple different things that works for us that may help your business as well, okay? So what we have here is we have a two-color glitter heat transfer vinyl design that we created with our software and CorelDRAW. So you can see it's what we call a split image design. So anytime before I actually press the design, just in case you might have mixed up any of your nodes or shrunk it, anytime it's a two-press design, my first thing that I do is I line it up. So I'm going to take my white here, and then I'm going to take my green. If I turn this around, I want to make sure that my registrations are all set up perfect. So I can see that my design looks great here. It's ready to go ahead and press onto my shirt. All right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm using one of our J America glitter shirts here, some great looking shirts from J America, and I'm using a 16 by 20 Hotronix autoclam. So what I like to do is I grab the corners of the shirt here, okay? What we don't want to do, and what I see a lot of people doing, is they'll fold the shirt over, they'll fold it in half, they'll press it and try and find these perfect lines. Again, that's taking a lot of time. Grab the corners here, drag it right up to the top, check my bottom, check my top again, and my shirt is good, okay? So you don't want to spend a lot of time lining up your shirt onto your press, because again, that's your time involved in it. So what I'm going to do here now is a quick little pre-press of about 4 to 5 seconds. It's going to get any moisture, any wrinkles out of my shirt. So this shirt is now ready to press. So the next thing I'm looking at is to line up this design. So every design that every one of you have out there, it is a little bit crooked. Nothing's going to be perfectly straight. One thing I always say is keep the rulers out of your heat press area. You don't want to measure here, and spend a lot of time measuring your designs. So here's what I look at. I look at the left edge and the right edge of my collar, okay? Never look at your tag, because that's always going to be off-centered. You're going to look at the left edge and the right edge. The reason why is if you look at your collar here, no matter what, when you line up that design, their head has to go through this hole. So it's going to keep that design centered, okay? Next thing I'm going to look at is your armpits. Because a lot of people out there, what they'll do is they'll go 3 fingers down or 2 fingers down, or pick different areas of how far they want to go down. Well, no matter what size the shirt is, whether it's a small or an adult triple extra large, no matter what, the way the shirt's designed, the armpit goes right across the middle of the chest area. So it's an easy way for you guys to line up your shirts. So I'm ready to line this one up. Here's what I'm going to do. I have everything set perfect here. A lot of people will do this. They'll grab their white glitter and try to line this up perfectly. Doesn't make sense. You might think it's going to be good right off the start, but if this were aligned perfectly, you can see this design goes out further to the left side. So when I set this down here, it's not actually going to be aligned perfect because my design extended out. So you always want to press the part of the design that is the full width, and that's what's going to allow you to center it easier, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up perfect. So I got my white, got my green, get this lined up nice. Everything's looking good here, looking good there. So my design looks perfect. Now I'm going to start lining it up. So my shirt's still looking perfect here. I'm looking at my left edge, I'm looking at my right edge. I say, okay, that looks pretty good, that looks pretty good. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, you don't need to measure it. Now I'm looking at my armpits. Armpits look good, going right around the middle of my design right there. I like to pull the edge out like this. Just take a quick peek at it. It looks pretty straight to me. So I'm good with pretty straight. I'm going to go ahead and peel my white off, and then I'm going to start the press. So I'm 300, and we want to be right around 320 degrees. So this is with our Caesar glitter heat transfer vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down for about 3 to 4 seconds. And go ahead and lift this up. Now I only did 3 to 4 seconds because I wanted to do a quicker press for that part of it, because you don't want the material to shrink at all, because we're going to line up that second color in. Now when I come back for my second hit, I know that everything's straight. So what I can do is I can pull the shirt down a little bit just to be able to visually see it a little bit more, so it's not up near the top of the press. So once we have that, let's go ahead and do our Lakewood Ranch. And again, pretty awesome design here to be able to do. Now I do have a little bit of my glitter exposed here, so anytime you have some of your material exposed, you do want to use your cover sheet. So I'm going to grab my protective cover sheet here, drop that on. Now I'm going to go down for my full recommended time and temperature. So you're going to be about 10 to 12 seconds with the glitter vinyl here. Hotronix Autoclam heat press. Once the time goes down, it's going to open up for us. We can peel this off here, and we got ourselves a finished design. So the awesome part about this, when I was looking at this design after I cut it, I realized, you know what, with this green right here, it looked a little bit dark onto that black. So we have a custom position right here. The shortstop didn't jump out to me enough. So what I did is I cut an extra SS out just to make this jump a little bit more. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pull this down here, and I'm going to add this SS in. Let me turn it the right way here. And it's just going to make the design pop a little bit more. So that looks great there. Again, protective cover sheet on top. Make sure everything's lined up good. It is. And now I'm going to go down for about 8 to 10 seconds here. So I've created my design, but it didn't look as good as I wanted it to. So what I wanted to show you is, even though you've already pressed that shirt, it doesn't mean that you can't still make it look great. So you saw it before, but now you can see how much more that jumps out. There's a lot more contrast between the colors, where with our white glitter and the black shirt showing through, you already have that great contrast. So pretty cool looking design here, pretty cool shirt on our J America shirt, but you can see how much it jumps, and it gives a 3-color look, even though we only use 2 colors of our glitter heat transfer vinyl. So those are some different tips and tricks that hopefully will save you guys some time whenever you're pressing your designs. But of course, if you have any questions, come by. If you haven't ever been to one of the NBM shows, they're great shows to come. You want to meet all of your distributors, and we want to meet all of you as well, and it's great to interact and give you guys different tips like this that hopefully help expand your business.
We have a question here, Matt. Is there a maximum number of presses you can do?
There isn't really. So for example, had I known I was going to do a 3 or 4 color design, what I would do with this glitter, because it is a nice hot peel, I would have done the first press for about 3 to 4 seconds, came back with the next one for 3 to 4 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds, and then your final press is always going to be for the full recommended time and temperature. Okay, so whether it's a 1 color design or a 4 color design, those initial presses are the quick ones, 3 to 4 seconds, and then your final one will be for the full recommended time and temperature.
Excellent. Well, Matt, thank you very much for showing us this
thank
detail
you.
today. Thanks again for tuning in. This is the last day of the NBM show in Long Beach, but if you want to check out the Rhinestone world at future shows, visit thenbmshow.com. See you soon.